Good morning. I am still trying to wake up. If you don't know who I am, I'm Suzanne Titkemeyer. I used to write a column called No Longer Quivering for Pathos. It was about the quiverful evangelical movement. One of the things I did there that I really enjoyed a lot was book reviews. So I'm going to be doing a few of those. If you could do the YouTube things that like, subscribe, whatever. These are just my opinions. Don't bully anybody I talk about here. Please don't bully anyone in the royal family. That's just retarded. I shouldn't even say that. It's just stupid. Let's just put it that way. Don't be rude to anybody in the comments. And thanks for watching. Um, this one was kind of a hard read for a couple of reasons. I, like 3/4 of the world, absolutely adored Princess Diana. Now, that was before we all had the true story of how it looked like it was some Charles's fault and some her fault in the marriage, back when the media of the world was chasing her down. Hey, Michelle, the media of the world was chasing her constantly, and there was just so much going on that a bunch of us didn't know. We were getting the spin from everybody and their brother. So I was always curious what was going to happen with her two sons before this was all over with, before the shooting match was over with. Well, I think we can safely say what has happened just from reading the one book. Hey, Pam, what's happened is a big old hot mess. I'm just going to tell you, hey, Carolyn, I love Diana too. I have to think that somewhere, wherever she is, she's possibly rolling in her grave right now over this stupid book. Why do I say that? Because Diana had a respect for the royalty, for the crown, that I'm not seeing in this book at all. Okay, so we all know who Prince Harry is. He's one of Diana and Charles's sons, the second son. The entire book was about him and the struggles he's experienced. And while I do admit there probably are struggles growing up in that family, scandalous. I want to read it though. Yes, it is scandalous, Michelle. It is scandalous. Scandalous and silly at the same time. The first, I don't know how, until he met Meghan, part of the book is him saying how horrible it was. He's this poor little rich boy that nobody loved. Nobody loved, nobody loved, nobody loved, except his mother. So he has elevated his mother to sainthood in his mind, which I don't have too much of a problem with, because we have a tendency to do that as children. When we're deprived of one parent, we tend to turn them into some kind of sacred idol. And I see he's done that with Diana, and that's understandable. It was just all the whining about everything else. I find it very strange Meghan didn't show her face since the book was published. Well, I find that strange too, Carolyn. The book was mostly him whining about poor little rich boy things and how nobody loved him. And I was pretty horrifically put off by that. It was like, get away from me. And then he started detailing all the fighting between him and his brother. Normal. I can tell you that from having raised children, having seen my husband and his brother still argue some, that being best friends with your brother or sister is not necessarily something that happens. Spare is a perfect world. Historically, the spare was less educated, allowed limited career choices, emotionally damaged, insecure, a second thought, and raised to have purposeless lives. Kathy, exactly. Look at King Henry VIII. He was a spare. They did not educate him or anything else like they'd done his brother, and he was a little bit older than like 10 or so when his brother died. So he suddenly became the heir. and they had to try to address that gap in a hurry. And I think we can see from some of the stuff that King Henry VIII did that maybe he was carrying around the damage of being the spare. I mean, that's just one of the things I thought about a lot. So this bear is self-damaged. I see himself shoot himself in the foot. He does get that honestly from Diana, who would sometimes shoot herself in the foot with some of the things she did. Um, I don't know for sure what Charles and Diana's relationship is like. Everybody who sounds off on it has self-serving interests, so I don't want to put that out there and say, yeah, this happened. No, I did not watch his interview with Michael Stranahan. I did not. I wanted to read the book without having any kind of preconceived notions, even though I'd seen 2 episodes of the Meghan Markle, Prince Harry interview series, the series on Netflix, and I was just like, ugh, and like, nope, checked out after 2 because it was pretty ridiculous, some of the things they're complaining about. Now, he does have a point, a theme throughout the book about the tabloid press in England, and they are way more vicious than the tabloid press that we have in the States. They just are. And really, that's what he's complaining about mostly in the book. Hey, JJ, so I think that the fact that he's complaining so much about this is a legitimate issue, and I can see where he would want something done about the tabloid press in Great Britain because they make stuff up. He's right about that. He's quite right about that. So when he married Meghan Markle, there's all these claims that they were treated with racist remarks and all sorts of things. But basically, okay, this is my opinion, boiling down what I learned in the book, what I learned from the 2 episodes of that Netflix series. I think Meghan is one of these people that she's very much like our dear friend Katherine, rather self-focused. And basically, they want the privileges of being royal without actually doing any of the work of being royal. And let's face it, being royal is not a cakewalk, and it's not for everybody. They have to go out and do all kinds of things, walk arounds, open shopping centers, all sorts of things, speak here, there, everywhere. They're on this incredibly, oh, hey, have a great day, Michelle. So they're doing all this stuff to prove to the royals. And I think that when they have all these tell-all books like Harry's and whatever, they're tearing down the mystique of the royal family. And they're putting them at a risk for being rejected, I think, by the British people. And they govern only at the approval of the British public. So when you have people determined to tear down royalty, that's what you got. They're just assuring that everybody is going to be tossed out on their rear and have to get real jobs. I read the book, just my opinion, but I went too far with outing his brother's personal business. That is what he comes off whiny. Exactly, JJ. He comes off as so whiny and complaining about everything. And he certainly did not make Prince William look very good at all. I remember reading the scene where he and Prince William had this knockdown, drag out physical fight in which Harry was complaining afterwards that he had a broken necklace and that William had pushed him down on a dog dish that had broken and cut and bruised his back. And I was just reading this going, oh, brother, I don't need to know that. I don't think anybody really needs to know that. All he's doing is undermining the royal family, saying that he unalived 25 Afghani soldiers was way too much, not soldier-like. JJ, I thought that a lot of his parts where he wrote about being part of the British military were just overblown and overdone. And he reminded me of nothing more than a little kid bragging about what they've done, all the bad things they've done, trying to impress their fellow little kids who were looking at them like, did you really just eat that cockroach? That was really what all of his military stuff just came out as. And he certainly complained a lot about how the British tabloid press ruined his military career. So I don't know how true that is. But it seems to me that he would have made himself quite the target for the Afghanis and the Iraqis had he been allowed to serve. Can you imagine if the Taliban would have caught him? Oh my word. It would have been a you know what show. Canadian here. The British monarchy does not govern. No, they don't really govern. They're followers, not leaders of what the Brits think they are. That's true. They certainly are. And I start to wonder when you have people coming out like Harry, if maybe the time has come for there not to be a rich British royal family anymore, to make them private citizens and just disband the whole thing. Maybe I'm looking at it as an American. Maybe I'm looking at it as a Cajun who grew up with no love for the British people whatsoever because Cajuns have long memories and the British have done nothing but horrible things for Cajun people, starting with throwing them out of Nova Scotia to trying to take over various parts of America. Awful book. Not worth a plug nickel. If you're going to read it, wait till it shows up at the library or buy it on discount at Walmart because it's almost half price what it is everywhere else there I saw. Because I was kind of irked that they actually had it less than they have it for Kindle on Amazon. It was kind of disappointing. So the whole book was this huge disappointment. It was just whining. It was Harry was a poor little rich boy, and now the tabloids are harassing his wife for being biracial. I didn't see any of that. It could have happened because I don't actually look at the British tabloids very often. Really, aren't we in a post-racial space now? Wouldn't you think so? I have to agree with Prince William and King Charles. You just ignore the tabloids. If they talk about you, so be it. I mean, it's just part of what you signed up for, unfortunately, is to be talked about. And if you are one of the royals that is protesting the most, or celebrity that's protesting the most about the tabloids, they will make you a target from what I've seen. I find Meghan to be a beautiful woman, but Catherine is breathtaking. And I think for me, it's her poise and respect for the monarchy that makes her so. I absolutely agree, JJ. She has poise and respect for the monarchy. She understands that she is part of something bigger, greater that's been in place for over 1,000 years. So all of that makes her much more breathtaking and beautiful, in my opinion, than Meghan. Meghan seems determined to upend it all. It seems like Harry is just this guy who's maybe not the super smartest in the world. He might be a little dim, who's managed to find himself a replica, God help us all, of some type of rather self-focused narcissist, which I've known a few people who've been involved with acting through the years, and it seems to be a given that they're pretty much self-focused, many of them. I'm not saying all of them are, but there are some that you just look at and you just know that they're somewhere on the spectrum of narcissism. And I think that may be what's going on here. She's behind the scenes egging him on. I'm reminded of a relative I have who has it in for everybody in the family ever since he married a certain woman who has done nothing but egg him on for his grievances, his long since grievances, and pushes them to all new heights. That's what I see here. And I don't think it spells anything good for the monarchy. I can understand exactly why they cut Harry off, their reasons, and supposedly they're working now on different projects. God help us all. I really don't want to see any project they're involved in at this point after reading the book and seeing a few episodes of their Netflix series. Just be done with it. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go on. I did want to speak just a few seconds about the whole Michelle Sabate recent conniption fits. I had such high hopes for Meghan being a royal. She's intelligent, biracial, and American. I'm disappointed. JJ, same. I wanted to see somebody who was not Lily White in there. Britain still has the class system. Most British white females would not have been acceptable to the British people. That Meghan was an actress, an American, and a divorcee would have never been accepted. Yep, exactly. So Michelle Sabate has apparently faked that she had a stroke and was airlifted hither or yon. Don't let that stuff fool you. Don't fall for these false narratives that are being pushed sometimes on YouTube. I watched that unfold and didn't say anything about it to anybody. You know, I've been airlifted. I've had 2 strokes. Some of the things that Michelle was saying about having had a stroke just did not ring true to me for having had a stroke. And yeah, if you got a stroke, you've got a clot in your brain. They'll go in there and dissolve that thing. They've got drugs for that. They can run the needle up there and do it. I know it happened to me. They didn't even have to shave my head for it. Michelle definitely has some problems that needs taking care when you have to fake a stroke. Exactly. She needs to just get off the internet. She needs to take an internet vacation. Your hubby should take you to dinner. You look beautiful today. Oh, thank you, Carolyn. um, not feeling so today. I've already knocked heads with him over spraying the house for bugs. We're having a bug infestation, and I've been spraying with what I can use the last month or so, and it's not getting any better. So I think it's going to have to happen. And our neighbor is pushing her maid again on us, and I am not having it. And so we're about to have some maybe not super friendly conversation. So I have to go talk to someone about how they've overstepped their boundaries with me and that they need to quit overstepping their boundaries. And it won't be pleasant. But then again, defending your own boundaries seldom is. So I want to talk later in the week about disabilities again and traveling because I encountered when I was in this top is like 10 sizes too big for me, but that's why I bought it. I bought it so that I could wear it loose without a bra and it will only touch me right here because it's one thing after having had my thalamic stroke that I love now. Big clothes that don't touch you anywhere because you're having pain on your left side. If it doesn't touch your clothing doesn't really touch you, you're not having the kind of pain you normally would be. So I'm transitioning more to that. I'm getting ready to go through my closet and do all that. So back to disability, traveling, I took United this time, and United has a unique way of dealing with disabled travelers that is not good. I'm on the verge of writing a nasty gram to United saying, "Hey, why did you do it this way? You caused me to almost miss a flight." On the way back from the United States, I disliked what United did so badly that I walked, and I can't walk where they. Damn, I have um, real problems with balance, and that creates all kinds of problems when you have the slick floors that the airport has. I trip all the time. Oh, it is back. Oh, yay! Oversized clothing is back. Good. Well, you're getting it with me because I can't handle anything touching. I bought my underwear 3 sizes too big for that reason. And I was like, yes. So United does something different than everybody else. Most of the time, I will get a wheelchair when I'm in the airport because of the slick full floor. I do stumble and fall down and shit. And the wheelchair circumvents that. Okay, so that's what I usually do. American, Delta, somebody pops up, you haul your biscuits from gate 1 to gate whatever, and you get on your next flight. United does it a little bit differently than that. They put you in like a corral area with everybody else, and then they have somebody sitting there sending people out. And guess what? It didn't work very well. I damn near missed my flight, my connection, and I had to walk. So on the way back, it was like if they tried to put me in the corral, they tried to put me in the wheelchair. It was like, nope, I have a 3 hour layover. And if I walk like a turtle, even I could make that. So I did it. But I'm going to talk about it because that's one thing that I don't understand about a lot of places that have disability accommodations is you need to consult with the people who are actually disabled before you put these things in place. If they'd have just done like everybody else does, take you from point A to point B and drop you off, it would have been fine. But to take you and put you in this area with everybody else, to isolate you and put you in this little corral like thing, supposedly to bring you to your gate 5 minutes before it loads, is ooh, it's a very bad idea. Okay, so I've ranted enough. I need to go. I've got stuff I've got to go do. We have to hit up this t-shirt place, order t-shirts for my husband. I got to talk to my friend about her constant overstepping of a boundary with me that is pissing me off. And I'm still doing laundry from our trip. You guys have a wonderful day. I may or may not be back tomorrow. I don't know. I'll see. Um, Airports, the worst for the disabled. They are. They're the worst. They're the worst. And I'm thinking about putting together a disabled guide for Costa Rica because someone asked me about that yesterday. And there are some things that, sure enough, you could do in a wheelchair, but not everything. That's the problem. This place is not really set up for disabilities. I've seen them trying to be better at this, and they are. There are things you can do as a disabled here if you're disabled, but they're still not there yet. Okay, you guys, I really got to go this time. Love you guys. Have a great day.